All right, good afternoon, my friends. It's a great day out hanging out in my hammocks and just enjoying the day. I want to chat with you today about letting life get better. That's the whole purpose of what we've been looking at and what we call our regular dose of Be Refreshed. Those of you who follow me know that I do a daily dose of Be Refreshed, Soul Edition, every morning at 6, and we just plow through the scriptures. We just pick a book and we just walk through it. And it's about 15, 20-minute kind of a deal. These are meant to be a lot shorter, and we just want to talk a little more about the life aspect of things. And so we really are focusing on 7 areas: our faith, which we really focus on in the morning, but we'll touch on faith in a regular basis here. Our faith, our family. See what we can do to help increase and encourage our family in the area of marriage, in the area of brother, sister, sibling, honoring our parents, our children, all of that concept, grandkids if you've got those, and then friends and building deeper friendships with our friends. We also want to focus on our field and what can we do to really enhance our work, whether it's a work that you love or it's one that you dread but you do because it pays the bills, but you really have a passion somewhere else. We want to touch on all of those topics. We want to cover the area of finances, which we're going to do today, and we want to cover the areas of fitness, which we looked at last week, and just fun and making sure that we're enjoying life under the sun. So those are the things that we'll be dealing with as we do these regular doses of Be Refreshed. Last week, and if you've not tracked with us, if you want to go back and look at some of those, it'd be great. It's on my personal page, and you can find them all there. But we just deal with fitness last week, and we talked that fitness isn't just about your physical presence. It's about health. It's about your physical health, how you eat, how your body's functioning. Is it healthy? Are you diabetic? Are you not? Is your blood pressure, cholesterol, all of those issues? How do you deal with that to make it better? What can we do to let that get better? Our physical stamina, what can we do to let that get better? But we really focused on mental health. How can I get my mental game better? What do I need to do to let that get better? And my emotional health, right? Because all of those can encompass what we would call physical health. And so we looked at that last week, and I asked you to give yourself a rating in that area. Just rate yourself between a 0 and 10, knowing those 3 components. If you were to say, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm probably a 6, or maybe I'm an 8. Wherever you are, you're a 2, right? Wherever you would put yourself. Don't worry about how we're going to let it get better. We're going to work on that as we work through these 7 areas. The one we're going to look at today, we're actually going to look at all 7 of these over the course of the next few weeks. But the one we're looking at today is the area of finance. Man, that's a topic, right, that it will stress you out. A few things we're going to create the blame game in marriage more than finances. So there are 5 areas that usually, if you're going to have trouble in marriage, and we'll be talking about those when we get to the family side of things. But one of those, and one of the key components in that, is always in money, and it's a blame game, and it creates stress. It's beyond that, money creates anxiety more than anything else, other than your physical health and your relationships. Money is one of those things that really just creates a tremendous amount of stress in most people's lives. Most people, I think on average, are somewhere around close to $300 below water. And so what they normally do is, you put stuff on credit card and you do whatever, and then when your income tax comes, you pay that off. But you're just doing this. You're just kind of treading water. And so it can create all sorts of issues. It has the power to affect your friendships, your all those resentment, envy, all of those things. God, people are taking vacations that you wish you could do, and there's a resentment that takes place, and people tend to have better stuff than you do, and it creates all of that. So it's a pretty important topic that we look at, and nothing probably enhances your prayer life more than, oh God, please, can you get me out of this mess, right? I mean, those are the things that we talk about. When we talk about finance, we speak in terms of margin. That's a great word that means excess, right? Margin. It's the amount available beyond what you need. Now, I don't know where you are in your finances, but I love to have margin, to have more money at the end of my month than I did at the beginning. That means I can breathe a little bit. If there's something I want to do that's fun, if there's a little thing I want to buy, for my kids or my grandkids or for Tammy or whatever, I've got that to do. And so margin is the amount available beyond what's needed. Now, we've not always had that in the area of finances, but it's a great goal to have. I mean, there was a time, just so in full disclosure, it looks like, hey, well, you got it made, you got more money than you need, and all of this. Well, it hasn't always been that way. There was a time in our life back during Hurricane Katrina, really, when we lost everything financially. We had made some business investments and in some poor decision making of some things that, and a lot of other issues. It created a very huge vacuum in our lives financially, so that we ended up filing bankruptcy, and didn't think we'd ever live in a house that would be paid for, much less one like we have now. And so we've been blessed to see things flip around, but you could do the same thing. It's a matter of priority. It's a matter of margin. It's creating that. And so today I just want to tease you a little bit just about where the thing we're going to talk about over the next 3 days in this. There's really three components to money. There is, besides how much you make. But that really, as much as we think, man, if I just had a little bit more, I'd be all right. We can a little bit more ourselves to death, because if we're not careful, we get a little bit more, we get a better raise, we get whatever, we buy more stuff, and we're right where we were. We just have nicer stuff that we owe to the bank, and so the goal is to get away from that. So one is spending. What we spend our money on can help us create margin. Where we save our money can help us create margin. And how we give our money will help us create margin. Those three components are what we're going to talk about over the next few days, and so I just want us to kind of begin to think in terms of those things. Like right now, if I were to say, what could you do right now to create margin in your life financially? What could you do? Right now, you're looking at your bills. Man, things are pretty tight, and man, I need tires, and I need, I got whatever it is that you're thinking that you're going to have, and you begin to be stressed because you're just a little bit underwater. If you lost your job, do you have any savings in the bank? Do you have 6 months worth of your income in the bank? Now that's a goal. That's margin, right? Who wouldn't love to have that? The question is, though, what can you do right now just to enhance your life? What could you sell? How fast could you put $1,000 in cash somewhere in a drawer that you couldn't touch unless an emergency arose? Think about what that $1,000 laid aside right now would do for your family situation. That's called margin, right? Now you just don't go blow that, but it's there, right? So you hustle and you do whatever you can. You have a garage sale, you sell stuff, you do a side job, you do whatever you can, and you get that $1,000 somewhere saved up. Not in the bank. You want to be able to have access to it right away if an emergency comes up, or you want to give, and you've got margin in order to do that. So it becomes a powerful weapon. So if we're going to talk about money, I want you to begin to think in terms of those things. Now, tomorrow we're going to talk about budget. We're going to talk about spending and those kind of things. And I'm not a guru on this subject, but we've very rarely we've spent a lot of our life making very little. We've made a decent amount of money for a season, and then we've made little. And so it's not like we have great wealth. But if you're careful, you can enjoy and grow financially like you can't imagine. So that's what I want to share with you today. And just want to let you know that we're working this around an app, and that's kind of what I'm bringing you in to I just want to share with you what's going on. We partner with a group called Oola. You can find that on oolalife.com, oola.com, and you can find some stuff on our page. But there's they call it a lifestyle platform, but it's an app really where you input who you are, and then they rate you on those 7 areas that we're talking about now, and they give you a number. And from that number, they help you see where you're weak and where you're strong, because we want balance in our life. And so that's what happens. When we're balanced, life is so much richer because of that. And then in that balance, how do we grow? So we grow when we are intentional and we're directional about where we're going. So we set goals. We set 3 3 steps that we're going to do every day to get ourselves out of financial trouble. 3 steps we're going to do every day to deepen our relationships. Now you'll pick one and you'll work on that and you'll see it rise, and then you'll pick the next one, and so you keep growing this thing so that your life is balanced and growing. And, anyway, I'm loving that. You can read more about that in the comments. I'm going to post something in there for you to look at. So if you'd like to get the app and journey with us, we'd love it. We'll invite you into a Zoom call, really, and we'll just hold each other accountable. You can be a part of our little virtual small group. So we're excited about all the possibilities that there are for that. So we just don't want to walk alone. We just want to have some people that can do this with us. So check that out. And until then, man, Lord bless you. And I will see you tomorrow afternoon, and we'll talk about finances.